Hey, folks, welcome back to the lab. So, I was not planning, you can see that little supervisor baby was not notified of a video happening. But I'm going to try a new method here. So, the reason we are here for this video here, I grabbed this beautiful Acme inspector, and it was painted with massively thick amounts of house paint. It's ridiculous. It's everywhere. And they painted everything. Everything's all painted shut. And yeah, and it's even got like a copper or a brass plate up here. You can barely even read the name. I just really want to get in here and see, because I've been researching this name. We'll talk more about that. And somebody that may have been affiliated with a railroad. So I want to get under this paint to see if there's any railroad markings on it. The markings could have just been a globe. They could have had a special globe for them or something. But so the reason we are here is because I'm going to try a lye bath. Yeah, so I just made up a solution in a 5-gallon bucket, and I'm going to throw this whole thing down in there because the last project I had was a Dietz mill, a 1941 Dietz mill. You can go back and see the video for it. It was probably published just not long before this one. And what a pain in the ass. I wasted an entire can of Easy Off oven cleaner on it. And sodium hydroxide is the ingredient in Easy Off that does all the stripping. I went out and got myself there. So this is crystal. Yeah, you can see crystal drain opener. But down there, 100% lye, which is sodium hydroxide, which is the active ingredient in Easy Off oven cleaner. This here was 17 bucks, and I made a 5-gallon bucket, and apparently I could do like 20 lanterns in that. So, and you know, parts and all kind of stuff, I could just plop parts in there and leave them in there, and yeah. So we're going to take a look at this thing. We're going to get it apart, and we're going to plop it in there, and then I can go on to have my dinner and stuff. Because, yeah, look at this. I just got home from work, and it's 9 o'clock, and yeah, so, okay. So, yeah, so I want to get this apart, and I want to plop it in there, and I really want to see how it does. So, all right, let's take a look at this thing and get it apart a little bit. All right, so we're done with that. So, that is a nice fatty, nice unmarked, heavy fatty. Nice. Okay. We'll clean that up and we'll use that in something. Reflector is gone off the back, but I was just told that I can get a cheap one on Amazon, which would fit in there because it's a 3-inch reflector, and get one for like 14 bucks on Amazon. So I may try that. Right. So let's see how easy this will come off for us. Let's try the burner. Probably painted shut. Of course it is. Yeah. All right. Well, that's going to make that. I'm not going to be able to get that off without that burner in there. And I also heard, oh boy, and that's painted shut too. I also heard a bunch of crap in the fount. So let me see if I can get this open. All right, good. I heard a lot of noise coming out of the fount. There's something going on inside it. Let's see, what the heck am I hearing in there? Ah, mud wasp. Holy moly, mud wasp. Okay, son of a gun. All right, I'm going to see if I can get that out of there before we throw it in the lye tank, because you can reuse. Yeah, all right, so let me see if I can mash it up enough to need headlamp. Let's see. So I'm trying to bust up the nest with this piece of dowel, and it's working. Is there a baffle in there? Okay, I don't see a baffle. All right. Good, because that would have been holding a bunch of this shit in. Sounds like some of the clanking around is probably in the manifold or maybe up in an air tube or something. But I can't get at I can't get at either of those things. So, oh, look at that! I see. All right, I see. Look at that red paint. Oh yeah, look at that! Holy shit! 3 layers of paint. Oh man, it is paint. It is brushed on black house paint on top of red on top of green. Oh man, look at that green. I bet you that was like original or something. Oh man, what a bummer. Why'd you do that? Look at all that paint. But see, now I'm really so happy about the idea of this lye getting all this shit off of here without me having to just work at it for days. And luckily, cap is off. Man. All right, yeah, so this appears to be painted on. I would like to get that burner off so I can get at get that burner plate off there. All right, maybe I could pry this up a little bit. Get at this. There we go. Bust it loose a little bit. That's good. Oh yeah, wow, that was all painted in. I can see the paint cracking. Look at that. Yeah, all right. Ah, there is a baffle in there. Okay, I couldn't see it. See how that's all curled up? That's because there's a baffle inside the fount. So all the kerosene doesn't go plopping out. All right, great. Great, look at that. I like that. All right, so, yeah, we'll just throw that in the light. Now I can see. See if I can get that. See if I can get that out now. Let me see. There we go. Okay. So, all right, first of all, let me clean up this mess. Yeah, I'm so glad that came out without me having to super duper deal with it. All right. Let's see. Dowels, man. I have dowels everywhere, and they're great. They're great because they're wood. Yeah, but they're big helps in all kinds of things. Here in the shop. Another great thing to have in the shop is big, gigantic brushes. All right. So, where were we? Yes. I can see where the manifold is kind of come loose there. Who knows? It could have been manufactured that way. And that's just how it fell on there. Although, it's starting to look a little bit like some rot there. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what's been painted over here. But I can tell by texture that I don't think it's going to be that bad because it's painted. Multiple layers of paint. There could be a bunch of tin left under here. We just won't know. Who paints a reflector black? People that want to make art. That's art out of their antique store finds. All right, let's go get it in a bucket. All right, let's go plop it in the bucket right now. I'll take you with me and we'll do it. All right, let's go do it. Okay, here we are. I just mixed it. It's hot water, and we'll give it another little churning up here. All right, so ploop. That goes right in. Plop, plop, parts and parts. Now, let's submerge. Okay, there we go. So we'll see how long that takes for that, and then we'll flip it over, and you know, that way it finds a whole new area of things to, you know, if there's air pockets somewhere. Okay, and you can see, you can see how close it is. They would not be able to submerge the whole thing in there. Yeah, look at that close. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go make my dinner now, and we'll check on this later. Okay, let's check. Let's check here. All right, so yeah, it's been about 45 minutes. Let's see. All right, it's working. It's working really good. Awesome. Okay, so I'll do it. I gotta think about how I'm gonna fish out those other parts. Wow, look at that. There we go. You can see it, look at just melting away in there. So how the heck am I gonna get those little parts out? All right, we'll give that some more time. Then I'll flip it over. And I gotta figure out how to dish or fish out those pieces on the bottom. Right, so I flipped it over in the bucket, and I fished out the pieces, the little pieces I threw on the bottom. I didn't think straight, like, how am I gonna get that out of the bottom? I'm not gonna grab through that stuff. So I fished them out. So I got this apart, and I could see, look at this here. You see this rotting on top here, and I bet you that has to do. That's probably why I saw rot in the manifold, and we'll know a lot more once we take a look at it without paint on it. But this could be just dulled tin, or could be. This could be tin under here. And why don't we check that out, actually? Let's see here. I still haven't had dinner. Look what time it is. Yeah, I don't know. Can't help it, man. I have so much fun in here in a lab. So let's see. Can't tell if there's any tin left on there or not. Not in this condition. Oh, huh? Yeah, looks like there might be some tin left on there. I can't quite tell. It'd be nice. Yeah, so I don't know. I can't quite tell. I'd like to know before, like, if I didn't want to go to the bench grinder. The bench grinder is very mild, but I'd rather not mess with tin in the bench grinder. It's just too risky. Because if you get something with really thin tin, then you just start it coming loose. You don't want that. You don't want that. All right, well. Yeah, look at that rot. Bummer. Everything else looks all right. Everything else would be nice. Oh, but yeah, look at this. So there's like white paint here, and I swear I saw yellow. So maybe this is not white. Maybe that is yellow. So 4 layers of paint. God almighty. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, see that? There's white, there's red. Like I said, that could be the yellow. It's just white from the sodium hydroxide. Yeah, see that? So like this, just weird places for the heavy rot. The underside of that, and there's this, the underside of that. So rain came, I don't know, rain or moisture got down here, and yeah, interesting. Maybe this thing was in a bad environment and just all those layers of paint protected everything except the things that were not painted, which are the hot surfaces. Yep, hot surfaces. So that degraded, you know, it reduced the protection of the steel, all that heat being on this steel here. So, okay, that's my theory, and I'm sticking to it. So we'll take these over to the bench grinder, clean them up. That's going to be just fine. Cool. And then we'll, look at that. Look at those little marks. I think somebody was trying to widen things out here. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Somebody had a tool. This thing might have gotten crushed in here, and they tried widening it out. See that? Yeah, looks like it got crushed there, and they tried to widen it out with a little tool. Huh. Neat. All right, so that's it until we pull that out of the line and take a look at it. I ain't lying. All right, so shit. Sorry, I was overdoing other things. So yeah, I worked on it a little bit. So a little more steel wool on that, and that'll really clean up very nice. That cleaned up, and that I gotta go soak that in water because that has got hydroxide left in it, inside it, from being under and soaking in it. So I gotta soak it in some fresh water to get that out of there, at least dilute it. Burning my fingers. It was coming out of the bottom of the cap. So it's got some rot on it. Yeah, it's got some, you can see the spots. It's all right. It's okay. It'll clean up nice, and it'll work just fine. It's just not going to look perfect. That's all cleaned up. Boom. All right. So we got that. Oh yeah, I got to go soak that. Yeah, and that's burning my skin. All right. So I am going to go do that, and then I'll go check the lye bath and see how things are looking. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we are out. We are out. I probably, yeah, you can see there's some little spots. Yeah. Maybe I gotta plop it back in, but it's freaking 11:15, and my dinner's on the plate, ready to eat. I want to come in here and show you this before I went and sat down. So, yeah, pulled it out of the lye, and I hosed it off and brought it inside, and sponge, soap and water. So, yeah, look at that, man. Looking good all over, I'll tell you. Yeah. It looks pretty good everywhere, actually. And I noticed an interesting thing. So I'm seeing a line here. It'll look better. It'll look more defined when this thing dries out more. But there's a definite line. Comes across here, goes in here, across, out. So this thing sat like this. Yeah, that's why there's rust on the bottom. Yeah, so that sat in water for a while, quite a while. And you can see the oxidation is heavier here. Looks like I did it a couple of times. There's another line there. And that actually, that line right there lines up perfectly with the top of that. Look at that. Huh, I don't know. But okay, so we're gonna, so yeah, by the way, so there is red paint and there is yellow. You can't quite see it, but Down there, there is yellow paint. So there's yellow paint, white paint, red paint, black paint, and I saw green paint. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay, folks. All right, until tomorrow. Steel wool dust getting all over everything. Damn it. As I was playing. Okay, now I gotta get that steel wool dust off the bottom of this because this is wet and it'll oxidize all over everything. That's what we're trying to avoid here, people. All right. Looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. The only thing it's missing is this little part right here for lifting this up. Okay, so our project. I'm so glad I didn't have to deal with all those layers of paint. Wow. Wow. Money well spent, I'll tell you what. All right, time to go eat. See you tomorrow. Oh, by the way, real quick, I had to check the dates. Yeah, so, yeah, this is 1913 is the last patent date. So most likely, this is a 13 or a 14, because in 15, or maybe even 14, depending on the model, they started putting the manufacturing date. So that's patent date, not manufacturer date. So interesting. Okay, this is a lot older than I thought it was. I really was judging by the cap, thinking it could have been anywhere from 15 to 40, but yeah, check it out. Pretty cool. Okay, that's it. I gotta go eat. Darn it. Well, check it out, man. So we are back from the first lie bath here on the channel. So I hadn't done this in ages.
Yeah, like I said,
but yeah, look at that. So
it's 4X. I don't know. There was a couple 4X150.
He's talking a little loud. Okay, so yeah, here we go, and we uncovered a patent or so last. Oh yeah, we already covered that. Yeah, last patent is 13. So I would venture to guess that this is probably a 13 or a 14, maybe a 15. But so yeah, so I don't know, not sure. I think that's just busted solder. That's why that's like that. I thought maybe that was rot, but now that we got rid of the unbelievable amount of paint. By the way, so I forget. But so you saw black paint when we started. Under that black paint was red paint. Under that red paint was green paint. Under that green paint was white paint. Under the white paint was yellow paint. How about that shit, man? There's still a little blob in there of yellow. You can see here. Yeah, you can see the light coming through their hole there. So there's like I said, there's a funny water line here. There's two water lines on this thing. So wherever this thing was stored, and it was stored submerged for quite a while. But I don't know, man. Yeah, well, I'd say let's look at it with the endoscope, but there's a baffle in there, so it's really hard. Maybe we can still try. Why don't we? Why don't we get the endoscope out and take a look inside there? All right, let's take a look. First of all, let's look in the manifold here. It's looking a little hairy. You see there's a square air tube. That had big old hunks of mud wasp nest in it. And they're all gone. So let's see down in here where the baffle is. You can see there is the baffle. All right. Oh, that bottom doesn't look that bad. That's not awful. You see there's the baffle. Yeah, this ain't bad at all. Oh, awesome. Awesome. You know, and like I said, there's really no heavy oxidation anywhere except for like here, around here, up here. Yeah, not bad. So I was looking for, let's turn this off. So I was looking for to try to do more research on this dude, this Hobbs dude. I think I may have tracked him down. He was on the. I don't know. All right, I don't have it the info right here in front of my face, but he may have been an engineer for the New York Hartford, the Hartford as they would call it, the New York Hartford line. So, and possibly New York Central as well. So I will down in the if I learn anything new, I'm gonna put it in the description down here below the video. Some info. I'm hoping that I'm gonna track down on this FJ Hobbs. And if you have any information, feel free to share. So what I was doing, I was looking this thing over. I thought maybe under all them layers of paint there would be some other mention of maybe a railroad. It could have very well been underneath here. So we'll never know because I ain't taking that off. But pretty cool, man. I'm really glad about that lie. That's great because I would have wasted cans and cans of easy off and amazing amounts of frustration. Because I would just be sitting there scrubbing like I'm sitting in my sink on a nice summer night scrubbing. All right, so let's. I'm gonna take it over the bench grinder and we'll get a preliminary look and see. I still don't know if this is all. Could it be tin hiding underneath some crazy shit from. So here I'm just kind of sampling to see what's underneath this shit that was painted over. Okay, yeah, so there's really no tin, but look how nice that's going to clean up. Great. All right, so look at all that shit that came off with that. So this is all, there's still a layer of shit even underneath all that stuff. And I know there's lots of areas that I'm not going to be able to get at with the bench grinder. And there's still red paint. There's still some paints left. That's because I just couldn't help myself. I wanted to get it out of the bath and look at it and see. I wanted to see if there was a railroad name on this thing. So I pulled it out a little prematurely. By the way, I already have another lantern in the solution. Something that was sitting underneath the table here, kind of like a junker parts. It was a Paul's Regal I have in there right now. It apparently had 3 layers of paint on it. I see black. I saw black. I saw red, and then there was black underneath the red. Crazy, right? All right, so let's go over to the bench grinder and see what we can do with this puppy. Yeah, this is gonna be great. I'm gonna have to order one of them mirrors, Okay. All right, I'll be back. Yeah. So, wow. I think this is gonna be pretty darn nice, folks. Look at this. I think this is gonna be pretty darn nice. Just a couple small areas of heavy oxidation, which is the center draft tube and the smoke bell, and we'll see what's going on in here. Yeah. But everywhere else, man, yeah, looking really nice. And we got so many other levels of cleaning to do. It's just going to be awesome. Great. Lots of surface area here. Absolutely. I may try using a more coarse steel wool to kind of get in here and get some of this crap off. I have a couple somewhere, I think. Where are you? I know I have some. Where to freaking put it? There we go. That might be a little heavy. Let's see. Oh man, this fucking catches on everything. What a Jesus. All right. Yeah, I'm not gonna do any good with this. It's gonna catch on everything. Yeah, this steel wool's ridiculous. It's some shit I grabbed at a estate sale. Yeah. Okay. That's what we got. Brass. Brass brush for. Brass being a softer metal. Less evasive. I'm looking around and I'm sampling stuff, looking at what were potential issues that we might find. The only thing I see is the back of the manifold there exposed, but I'd have to put some serious pressure on that. That barely moves. I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened with that. Just kind of pop that solder there. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Thing is, the amount of weight it's going to need, it could cause us some damage here. Well, yeah. I want to see if I can get it down low enough where I can tack it with a little hunk of solder to hold that down. Well, we'll come back to that. We got a lot of work to do first. I wonder if I could fashion something. I wonder if I can fashion something for a, for a puller. Yeah, see these wires, really heavy oxidation. These wires, it's just so strange. Where it picks to have problems. What is that? What the hell is that? Black thing. What is that? Some kind of seed pod? Huh, a leaf. Yeah, these things suck. I'm throwing those out. Yeah. I'll find something else at a flea market tomorrow morning. Yeah, so this last video, I did this on the bench grinder, kind of grinded off a hunk of skin, and while I was out working on something just now, basically what I was doing was throwing another lantern in a lye bath. So I wanted to play, so I grabbed something from the junk pile. This is a Regal. This is a Paul's Regal. And it, oh yeah, I told you about this already. Yeah, jeepers. Well, here is our outcome. Not awful. Not awful, man. I think this will clean up super nice. Yeah, and like all this just strange oxidation, like blotchy oxidation like this, it's gonna make very cool patina when it's oiled up. This is gonna be nice. All right. Yeah, lye bath, man. Hell yeah. All right, so let's play. I'm going to do a little bit of junk pit, and then I'm going to go start having some fun here. I think I will partake and go out and light a fire and then make some food. All right, let's get at it. Junk pit. So I just found more pat numbers on the back of the center tube. Huh. 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 13. So here we have 99, 04, 6, 7, 8, 10. Oh, we got more lines of stuff here. Maybe. So hard to tell because the months are cut off, so I can't tell. I'm trying to find the bottom line. What is the bottom line? Nine of 13, 16 of something or other. Like another 13. I gotta get really close here. It's like another 13. That can't be right. Like another 13. I wonder if this is just the same stamped on the back. Okay, so that bottom one there is definitely not born on date because the middle number is 16. So that's another line of patent numbers. That's another 13. Yeah, okay. It's like another 13. Man. See, that's the most heavily oxidated spot. It's that center tube. Isn't that weird? Huh. Alright, so I'm going to put the newer junk bit on. This thing just was not doing well at all with all the real estate we got here. Yeah. Alright, so we're going to put the newish one on here and continue what we're doing here. Alright. Okay, so we're making some progress and we're finding some issues. So, well, no, they're not issues. I mean, so we got pinholes in the smoke belt. No big deal at all. That's fine. That's fine. But serious problem is the bottom of these air tubes right here. Come on, you stupid thing. There you go. Yeah, right there. So there and there, and that's going to appear. I'm sure the more I work on it, that's going to appear. So yeah, this thing sat in water. So gonna patch that. We're gonna patch those up. We're gonna throw some brass down in there. If I can get a foothold, I might have to fold it up around the edges there. We'll have some fun with it. We'll make it nice. I don't think there's any other problems. So we got those air tube issues. We got some pinholes, and we got this manifold solder that came loose. I think that we might be able to work, but I gotta figure out how I can weigh that down. I wonder if I can get a clamp on it. I'm worried about putting enough pressure on it. I don't want to dent anything. It's going to be tough to move that down because of all this structure here, this stratus. Okay, so we'll come to it. So I got around all the edges and stuff, and the reason I kind of do that was, first, I'm having fun looking around, but I'm trying to get to the edges because these edges here, it'll shred nylon bits. It'll take one of these and just shred it in half a second. You get it near edges like that. Forget it. Fry them. I can't afford to fry any more of them things. So if that's what we're going to do, we'll see. So, all right, boy, oh boy, yeah, now it's 9:45. Oh, man, again, it's going to be another 11 o'clock dinner for me. That's all right. It's okay. I'm getting used to that now. So, that's going to do it for this project for today. But, boy, oh boy. I mean, I think I shortened this project by a couple of days because of that lye bath. Pretty cool, man. All right, so looking really good, except for not looking good on a couple of spots there. So yeah, this thing definitely sat in water. And these air tubes are thicker steel, but it must be just a more vulnerable steel. I mean, that's thicker than any of the other steel on this thing. Excuse me. Okay. That's it for today. So tomorrow's going to come up just like... Oh, and I just realized I had you on Zoom in for like the last couple minutes. I do apologize for that. But I'll see you tomorrow just like... Boom, we're back. Hey, folks. All right. So we're back at it next day. Just got some large surface areas here to certainly work on. I think I'm gonna go. It's just gonna take forever with a wire wheel. I think I'm gonna go probably 400 grit on this inner reflector here, or this you know, in here. So I'm gonna go 400 grit. We're gonna get this. And out here, so we got all this, lots of surface area. I think this 400 should be just a ticket for getting this pesky oxidation off here. This oxidation is embedded pretty heavy. It's not, it's, when I say that, I don't mean that it's heavily damaged anything, but it's just really gripped on there. Kind of like silver metallic paint. It's just stuck in there. And we're gonna get it out. All right. And like I said too, we got to patch these. All right. So there we go. 400 grit. Whew, man, yeah, pesky. So, and I'm wearing this my headlamp, right? So this headlamp, because of the angle of the light, it makes this look completely different to me than when I don't have it on. I went with number of different grits on a nylon. Now we're nice and smooth here, but I'm just still seeing the embedded shit. That's what's bugging me. But I think maybe once I steel wool it and everything like that, I'll be all right, I guess. But I just feel like I'm not getting it out. Bugging me. But okay, so I'm gonna fresh wheel on here, and I'm gonna try that on just some of this areas here and see if it changes my mind. And then we gotta get any spots here where my toolage is not getting. So let's play with a new fresh wheel. Okay. Oh boy. Yeah. So I'm going to go a little pointy bit on here and get in those, one of the many thousands of little corners here. And I'm going to put some little extension on this. I have a much bigger extension here, but unfortunately, it's not perfectly straight. Any of them are. They wobble crazily. So I haven't been using these, but I do when I got to get way back in places like the manifold. But I get more control. Only problem is this seems to come loose when it's out like this, but I need to get it out here and get in some deep areas. Just got to put a good tightening on this. And there is an attachment here, you know, a replacement for, you know, hand tightening better, but because it's much bigger, it's like the size of this plastic piece here. It's big and bulky. Still can't get in the spots. All right. Junk bit time, or I mean pointy bit. Yeah, you know. Okay. By the way, my new man, you saw me like this when I came in here. I've been in here for like over an hour, and I still got that much of that incense left. What does this smell? Ah, berries. Nice. All right. So I'm kind of wondering how the heck I would like to put a tack on this manifold here, but I don't know the safest way. I wonder if I can get a clamp on that without hurting things. All right, where are you, clamp? Clamp. I don't know if I can get it in there far enough. Unless I use a couple pieces of wood, that might do it. Question is, I might get a hunk of wood. Okay, that might work. Put that right there. Let's see. There's another hunk of wood. Hey, you know what? I mean, whatever works. I'm putting this wood down here to protect the bottom and this to protect the top. Damn it, I need to have it back farther. I need a clamp that's got more space. I just gotta think outside the box. Alright, well, this piece of wood needs to be modified. All right. Yeah, that's giving us what we need. The question is, can I put enough weight on there? Maybe. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Couple of those will give us what we need, I think. Yeah. All right. Can I fit another one in here? These things are great, man. I found these at the dump last week in the metal dumpster. Okay, so I'm gonna see. You guys can't really see that. So it's pretty flush. Right there, pretty flush. So I think I'm gonna put right there in the middle. I'm gonna put a blob of solder. Hopefully that'll stick and it'll hold that down. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So let's see, where do we begin? It's so awkward too. It's so awkward. Because I can't lean this thing because it's got the darn weights on it. Okay, that's about max right there. All right, so both these surfaces are tinned because there was a solder there that just kind of the bond broke. From some sort of mishap. Make sure that this shit dries before I do this. I'm gonna lay down some flux. Flux brush. Okay. All I'm doing is really just kind of activating this tinning flux. Okay. Maybe I'll lay a piece on there and then heat it. A little hunk like that. Oh yeah, nice. Okay. Ooh, that's hot. All right, so maybe I can even put a little more pressure on it here and heat that. Let's see what happens. Fuck. Okay, now, let's see, I need to have that angle. Son of a bitch. Nah. All right, so I'm gonna have to play a little game here, like that. Yeah, that might help. Try another hunk. See what happens here. Jesus, putting all that shit away took longer than doing the freaking job here. All right, so we got it. We got it tacked down. Nice. I'm kind of not a fan of how that looks. That blob there. Let's see if I can. Okay. Got rid of that blob. Now, clean out all this flux and crap that's in here. All right. Okay, well, it is 9:45 once again. I am stuck here having a very late dinner. Not enough hours in the day, I tell you. All right, so we are tacked down. This is clean. This got a good smooth. It feels smooth. I'm just seeing shit in it because of this headlamp I got on. It's like an infrared lamp. It's, you know what I mean? It's like shows stuff that you'd never see. Okay. So, all right, that's it for today, man. That's looking good. We're gonna go into another day here. I really want to see. I want to make sure I can get rid of these. I know I can get rid of these. There's just little anomalies from the that I can see from the Dremel bit. Okay. Okay. We'll be good. Good. And I'll disappear when my oil I dump it too. So, all right. That's enough for today, folks. And tomorrow's going to come up just like, boom, next day. So I think what we're going to do is I want to give it a final smoothing, and then we're going to worry about these air tubes here and try to patch them up. So I'm going to go over, I've already done it a number of times, but I want to do it more. I'm going to go 800 grit over these large surfaces. These other surfaces I'm pretty much done with that part of things. I mean, I might still, I mean, we'll do the final, but all right, so let's put a man, I'm telling you, this is some pesky oxidation. Holy moly. Really hard to get it all off. All right. Here we go. We're going to go 800 grit. We're going to give it a little once over, and then we're going to worry about the big issues here. All right. There we go. All right, so we did a little bit of that. So now I'm going to go to some steel wool. This is a 00 steel wool, which is just a very tad bit grittier than the 40 that I've always been using here. And I happen to grab some of this at a sale. And since this needs just a bit of an upper step here, so I'm going with the 00 here on off this reflector. So let's do that. Yeah, whenever I'm at, at estate sales and stuff, and I see any stuff like this for super duper cheap, you go on final day, you can get a bunch of stuff for pennies, and it really helps out, man. It really helps out with your obsession, my obsession, which is playing with lanterns like this. I enjoy it very much. All right, so we kind of gave the whole thing a once over with the steel wool there. Now I'm gonna do a little more cleaning up here on the bottom where all this mayhem is happening, and then we'll look at what we're gonna patch it with. So I'm going with a pointy bit. I'm just gonna get in there, spend a little time, make sure the surfaces are clean, so they'll accept solder and things. Okay. All right, so now we gotta decide what to do. And then cut a little hunk of brass. Ah, so close. Son of a gun. Oh, so close. Okay, so what we're gonna do is first I want to measure this area here. And the cool thing about this is that there are a whole bunch of surfaces here I can measure off of. I can use. Oh, I'll show you in a minute what I'm thinking of here. So I'm measuring this right there, and this is the right side. Well, actually, I want to make sure. All right. I know this one cuts nice straight lines. So, all right, we'll start over with that. All right, I want to make sure that this one is straight across. Okay. All right, that's for the right side. Okay. Now the left, this one's a little longer because of its. Well, we'll see if I can get it to fit in there. I don't know if you can see, but this rust is migrated a little deeper in this side here. I'm going to make it a little wider. This is the left. Okay, so where we're at now is I can use any part of this. So what I'm going to need to do is cut it and bend it. And I've got to make sure it stops before this pleat here that comes out. All right, so I think what I need to do get some measurements of this whole situation here. Yeah. All right, so this is what we want, right down the middle of that. All right. And what I think I wouldn't mind doing is putting a very mild score on the razor just to help me bend that nicely. Actually, I want to go a little bit wider, yeah, because of my bend. Oh. Okay, so I'm going to, if this one works, and we'll do the same here. All right, so I think I got our little wedges here. And now there's another measurement we got to take here to ensure that these things, oh, I need that, that these things are going to fit. So let's see here. By the way, it's starting to get really warm. Ziggy, what's the forecast?
Currently 85 degrees and sunny. Tomorrow's high will be 94 with a heat advisory in effect from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m.
Ooh. Okay, so what I need is that little measurement there. All right, let's see if I can. See if I can use my micrometer on that. That works. That's good. All right. So now let's do a transcribing here. All right. All right. So now we need to do a little scoring of the air tube. And that's a tight squeeze, so I gotta find the right bit here. That should do it. That one or that one. So, yeah, we're going to score up our little brass here, and we're going to score up the air tubes here just to make sure. And we got something nice and hardy for the solder to grab onto. So, we are repaired. We got our little hunks of stuff there. So, now we're going to clean them up. Oh, there's freaking flux all over everything. I loaded them up. Yeah. And for good reason. It was kind of tough. This is a lot of rusty shit being covered up. But now we have covered up giant holes. And I'm going to have to wipe this whole freaking thing down now because of what I just did with this acetone. Unless it's leaving a mess. It's leaving its own mess. So I'm cleaning up one mess and generating another. It has to do with this, the way acetone dries up. It grabs all your shit that you're cleaning off it, but it quickly dries right in place. It doesn't come off with whatever it is you're using, unless you use a cloth. It's not working with this. So I just saw a hunk of red paint. Yeah. All right. So yeah, check it out. There we go. Cool. All right. Let me reposition. It's the freaking mess here. I apologize. Yeah. All right. So yeah, let me. I'm gonna take a cloth of acetone to these areas that I generated some little acetone mess here, and splattered all over the place, leaving streaks. And the reason is I want to get it off there. I do not want to embed the streaks in our oil treatment and have them, stay there. That'd be uncool after all this freaking work. This has been 3 days, man. 3 days. All right. I think now I'm just I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just cleaning up dust and stuff. All right. Now, we're done, man. Let's oil her up. Let's check out our parts, by the way. Oh, that needs to be finished. Yeah, I didn't finish that. I didn't finish any of this stuff. All right, let's do that. Let's do that right meow. Right meow. Now it's time to oil it up. Boy, it's amazing. All these hundreds of watts of bulb I got here, and it's freaking it's like I'm baking under a heat lamp here. And there's still massive shadows. I gotta think of some other way. I really, actually, if I was in a nice, big, bright, white-walled shop, that'd be a different thing. And if my desk here wasn't underneath something like this thing right here. But I like it. I like my setup here. I like it. All right, so we're gonna oil this bad boy up. It's gonna take a lot of oil. Gonna take a lot of wiping down. So let's get started. By the way, look at the bottom, man. Look at that. That's in great shape, and you know why? Because it had 6 layers of freaking paint on it. Still got some great patina in it though. Now let's oil this baby up with its new modifications. Nice. Yeah, it's gonna clean up nice and dark. Beautiful. So I'm thinking of trying to construct some sort of thumb loop I can put here. Just a little something that's not like other lanterns. I'm just trying to think of something real quick I can throw on here. Why not? So I am straightening out a hunk. This is a hunk of globe guard from another Dietz. So it's appropriate. All right. So normally this would take a little band going across, that hooks underneath, and then a couple, like a hunk of brass, you know, a little thumb thingy there. I'm gonna have to come up with something different, maybe a loop. Maybe I'll just say no. Well, we'll see. So I'm gonna put this in the vise and kind of use this to bend it around it, and let's see what I can come up with. I'm shooting for something that's shaped like an ohm symbol. So I kind of pinch it in there and it stays in. Because otherwise, I don't know how I'm going to get it to attach. I'm just going to let leverage do it. So let's see what I can do. Be right back. So something like that. Oh, yeah, kind of like a cancer ribbon kind of deal. All right. So I'm going to do some bending. Some serious bending here. All right, so that's what I got. There's our little pull loop. It is nothing like the ones that are supposed to be on there, but and this could potentially rip this, which has already got a little rip in it. But I think we got enough meat on each side where it's not gonna rip. I don't think. I know this is compromised. But it's better than nothing, man. Gotta have something to grab on here. All right, so we're ready to assemble and fire this thing up, man. let's make sure it assembles first before we go throwing some fluid in there. So we'll put this beauty right back in. All right, so we'll stuff this little ribbon candy down in the baffle. That's a lot of wick, man. But this thing must have been a quite the workhorse. All right, so got there. Got there. Come on now. That's what we want. Right, like that. Got our cap, which I forgot to oil up. I'll oil her up now with any residual that is on our already cleaned and worn out brush, man. This getting all the nooks and crannies in this thing did a job on my brush here. Here's what, I mean, it's not all from this one, but you can see what a new one looks like. It's funny. A lot of lanterns this thing did. A lot of lantern, lots of wood. All right, so all right, we're gonna have to do that without that. There we go. Now I can use my loop, lift that up, boom. Make sure that that's touching bottom and not just kind of crammed down in that little cavity there. Click. All right. Nice. All right, we are together. We don't have a mirror for this, but we can pretend. All right, so let's throw some kerosene in here. See if it holds it. Judging by the bottom of this thing, I think we'll be all right. Excellent. So far, so good. No major freak out. I'm still seeing little tiny bits of oil. I'm just making sure we're all nice and clean. I don't want to mistake this linseed oil on here for leaking kerosene. All right, so now we just wait for the wick to whick. And we're gonna fire this baby up. And got a nice segmented globe. This is a nice big fat Paul's leader style optical. Nice big bubbles on that. Yeah, big, wow, gee, big, huge swirl. Pretty cool. Wow, look at all the swirls. Nice, I like it. I like the odd lanterns. All right, so, or the odd globes. I like bubbles and swirls. You know, there could be something to be said for lots of bubbles. They could very well easily explode and kind of break your globe if you get it too hot. Because all that, you know what I mean, that air in there. Yeah. All right. So let's wait a few minutes. Let that do its wicking, and then we'll light her up. We'll put this in there, see how she looks. Yeah, very nice. All right, that does its job there. Excellent. Luckily, yeah, see, it makes it go up high enough so you can still light that tall burner. So yeah, this wick's got, the kerosene's got some real estate to go up. So let's give it a few minutes. I think we're ready. So why don't we light her up? Okay, this is not going to be overly dramatic because we don't have any tin left on the inside of the reflector and we don't have a mirror. But we do have, there's a belief in a beautiful lantern lighting up. Oh yeah, look at that flame, man. That's a textbook. Okay. Oh, camera lens. Dirty. 1 second. There we go. There you go. Beautiful. Beautiful flame. Well, here we are. Acme Inspector. Very nice. Mid-teens. 1914, 13, 15, somewhere in there. Yeah. Oh, well, let's give Supervisor Baby rest of the night off. All right. There you go. Acme Inspector. So yeah, you can just imagine that with a nice parabolic mirror in the back. Boom, projecting right out at your face, right about there. So, all right, we have done it. And we'll take a look at things we did here to make this thing happy. As you can see, it looks like it's getting great airflow. And we got our, oops. There we go. There is our patches. There. Right there. There is our patches. Make them look nice and old and beat up. Put solder and shit all over them. Yeah, look at that. All right. Those were some massive holes too. So there we have it, man. Yeah. Mr. Hobbs. Mr. Hobbs has a story. And I think I may have found who he is. And I'll try to put it down in the description what I had learned. Because I will probably have learned more by the time I publish this. But all right. Hey, folks. Awesome. I am glad. I'm happy with this, and I'm happy that our patches worked out real nice. I'm so glad I got all those scraps of feet. I have feet of that brass strapping. Folks, thank you so much for stopping by the lab once again. Oh yeah, and we got our little pull ring here. Ooh, that's hot. Folks, thank you so much for stopping by the lab, and until next time, don't you go change it.
We'll be back with the Magic Tunes for the Armada Room's 2-hour disco swing party after this short break. Till then, don't you go changing.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.